Welcome, Aquarius and Aquarius cross watchers, to your love reading for November 2023. I do apologize. I'm sorry that these weren't out earlier. If you can see that my setup has changed, there's been a few changes that were unexpected this month. But anyway, I'm here now. I hope that these readings will help bring you some clarity. So we already have the relationship situation, just the big deck's really loud on camera. And then we're going to do what each of you is thinking, feeling, and actions or intentions towards each other. So we already have the King of Cups reversed for the relationship situation. Aquarius, I'm kind of getting this vibe where it feels like something has happened recently that has made you really look at a situation very differently. It's almost like whereas there may have been, you see how he's got the rose there, you know, like that's a very romantic sort of move. It almost feels like there's this like unexpected circus going on in front of you. And it's you may or may not get to that place where like, oh my gosh, I'm glad I kind of dodged that situation with this person. But I feel like right now it's more that it's almost like shock at seeing something play out in a way that's so unexpected. It's like you didn't expect these people to conduct themselves in this way, or this person. It's almost like you may or may not have done this, but it's almost like you want to shake your head like in disbelief, you know? The deck is upright. So then we have the moon. Oh, so the moon talks about kind of the unseen, the unknown, and that kind of mystical sort of element, but it's reversed, right? So it's almost like there was something in you that knew this all along, but I feel like I'm going to call you out a little here. I feel like either you were ignoring it. I think that's for some of you maybe, but I feel for most of you, it's almost like you were trying not to trying not to judge this person based off of other people's failures. You know what I mean? Like you were trying to give this person the benefit of the doubt. And it's almost like you may have had this inkling that something was really off about the situation. But now you know that you were right. And it feels so disappointing. It just feels like, frick. You know what I mean? Like that just, it's almost like you really wanted something to work here and it just doesn't. And what's their person thinking about this whole thing? What's Aquarius's person thinking? So the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is that in the regular deck, it's someone sitting facing the water with two swords, and it kind of symbolizes not wanting to see that there's options. It's like this person wants to intentionally it's like they want to intentionally blind themselves to something. I'm hearing like lunar eclipse, solar eclipse, something like that. I don't know if there's a one coming up. I probably should know that. If I remember to make a note of it, I'll put it in the description box. But it just feels like it's almost like there's this comet that's coming directly at them. And I feel like this person it's like they know it's coming for them. They know it's about to hit them, but they're trying to pretend like it's not there. I hope this is making sense. And what's in their person's heart space? What are they feeling about Aquarius? So we have the Sun. This would be the Knight of Wands, and it's also reversed. There's quite a few reversed cards, I'm not going to lie. So it definitely feels like something's gone off the tracks. The Knight of Wands usually talks about an energy that's very in and out. It's very, I'm hearing that they feel bad that they've done this to you. It's almost this energy of like they know that you didn't deserve it. If this person was very wishy-washy, very in and out, that sort of thing, it's like they kind of know that whatever they did was unwarranted. I keep getting that you didn't deserve it. I feel like for some of you, like you may have already known that and you didn't need to hear it, but some of you did. It feels like there's, not that you're looking for somebody else's validation, okay? But it does feel like there's something that's validating in hearing that about this experience. It's like them acknowledging that they did something. Not that you needed it to feel validated, but it feels like there's kind of a weight or like a, I don't know how else to say it. It definitely feels like there's some validation that you get from that, not that you needed it. I kind of feel like somebody's lying here. Often the snake, when it's upright, it talks about, you know, power and creation, and but there's just something that seems really sneaky here. It's almost like there's, I'm not sure if it's this person or if there's like a third party, but somebody is a sneaky snake. Let's keep going. What is their person's intentions towards them? Hold on. We're gonna dig into this snake here because who's this snake? Oh. Okay. So there's definitely something from this person's past at play. It's almost like somebody may have used you here to kind of make someone else jealous. It may not be the actual situation, but it's that kind of energetics of it. It's like somebody has been using you almost as like a feather in their cap to get attention from somebody else, right? So it's like, and even if it's not that they've been using the connection that they had with you, it's like they're using the sorrow from things kind of falling apart or things going sideways. They're trying to get sympathy. They're trying to use it for something. They're trying to look at somebody and be like, see, I need help. I need to be saved. Come save me. It's like, it almost feels like it's the like flip-flop of what's going on in their head. I'm going to be honest. I don't usually say, it feels a little bit sinister. It feels like this person knows exactly what needs to happen, but it's like there's so much, there's something about the hair. Somebody has a lot of hair. And I feel like there's something here that it's almost like if their head was in control, then things would be fine. But it's like there's something about their heart here that seems to kind of distort things for this person. And it's almost like it's easy for them to fall back into those ways of getting what they want through, you know, dubious means. I'm just going to make sure the deck is upright. What is this person? What do they really want? Dang. There's the Three of Pentacles again. So we have the Page of Cups reversed. This might sound strange, but I think they want something toxic. I know that might sound odd to say. Maybe it's just odd for me. I've never... Anyway. it feels like this person, it's almost like you may, let's say, for example, you represent stability, right? And you want something that's like everything's on the up and up and everybody kind of knows and like, and, you know, I'm going to generalize here, but usually with Aquarians, there isn't a whole lot of BS to wade through, right? You guys are usually pretty upfront. And I feel like this person, it's like they seem to be getting pulled back into wanting this kind of like twisted, intense toxicity in a relationship. And I feel like it's almost like they're making a choice here between like, do you want to be happy? Or do you want something? It's almost like it feels, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, does this person want kind of like, I don't even want to say this, like an infected wound of a relationship? Or do they want something like stable and comfortable? And I feel like they do want stability. Not like, you know, that you're boring or something like that. Okay. I hope that that isn't the message that's coming across when I'm describing the comparison that I'm seeing. It just feels like it's like this person knows that what is best, what they really truly want is something real, but it's I'm hearing that song by Lady Gaga. If ever you've heard that Judas song, you know what I mean? It just feels like there's something here that they're trying to cling to. It's almost like in order for them to let that go, it's almost like they have to admit that they've been really unhappy for a really long time, right? That they've been clinging on to something that's making them so miserable, this toxic past. And I feel like that may be why they're not willing to let go, or they don't want to let go of it, because it's, even though it hasn't been good for them, there's a level of familiarity. Not that it's comfortable, but there's a level of, I'm familiar with this, I know this, I understand this, right? And it's like, it's almost like they feel like they're having to shed that skin like a snake and all of a sudden be incredibly vulnerable. And I feel like them letting go of all of that and kind of surrendering to the connection between the two of you, it's almost like in doing that, it makes them so vulnerable, or at least it feels to them that it's like they're now going to be so incredibly vulnerable to being hurt by you. Not that you would. It's not about you being somebody that runs around and hurts everybody, right? It's more about them having a certain protective shell, and it's almost like that energy of like there's this comet coming at them and it's coming for them and they're trying to ignore it. I feel like, whoops, that comet may actually be that like they're just going to have to let this go. You know what I mean? It's almost like either they let it go, or I feel like it's going to be ripped away from them. Of course, not that, you know, I feel like that's a really potent way to say it. So I'm not trying to, you know, upset anybody. It just feels like they know that like either they let this go or it's going to be removed. And I feel like for some of you, this person may actually hang on to it until it's pulled away from them. And it feels like there's a bit of devastation that comes with losing it, because it's like they've had it for so long. It's like, it's a strange, because it's like when it's gone, there's this huge wave of relief, like they can finally get started with their life again. But actually the process of losing it is they feel like they have somehow failed. Whoops. Hold on. Wasn't really asking who that's for. I think we'll just put that there. What are this person's intentions towards Aquarius? Okay. Well, I mean, is that a huge surprise? Not really. We have the Devil, the Six of Pentacles, and the Daughter of Pentacles. I'm going to be honest with you here, Aquarius. Oh, sorry. I think I just hit the camera. I'm not so sure I'm just mucking about because I don't have the nerve to say this. I don't think it's going to be great. I feel like this person's going to be back and forth. I feel like they're going to go back and forth between being this, the embodiment of toxicity and allowing this new part of themselves to emerge, right? It's it's the juxtaposition here. I'm kind of getting lost in it a little bit. It's almost like there's this old this old part of them that is dying away, but it's like whatever part of them is having to die away, that part of them wants to make a big, like maybe they have to go, but they're going to make a big splash on the way down. You know what I mean? It's like it's going to hold on as long as it possibly can. And I feel like this new part of them does, you may see inklings of it. It's almost like, whereas, let's say, for example, if the two of you were in an argument and this person would say with absolute conviction, they would say something really, cruel or unkind. And before, in their eyes, you could see the fire in them. And I feel like now in their eyes, you can see that it's almost like they don't even want to do it anymore. It's like may not be the actual situation. It's the energetics of it. Okay. But it's almost like it's killing them to do what they're doing. Right. It's like it's killing them to have that kind of impact on somebody. It's like, whereas before, if their words hurt somebody, it would just kind of fan the flame. And now when their words hurt somebody, that's not what they want to do anymore. And the Six of Pentacles here, that talks about, generosity and things being balanced, right? And it's like, from what I'm seeing, I feel like the dominant character here is still this one. I really wish, of course, that it was something different, but that's what I'm seeing. There seems to be something here that has some sort of hold on the situation. It's almost like this part of them is kind of it's like they want you to know what it is. Okay. I don't know who you've been dealing with, but dang. So what is it? The Nine of Swords reversed. It's almost like this part of them wants you to know that it doesn't keep them up at night. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's such a juxtaposition between this one who doesn't even want to say something because they don't want to hurt you, and the other I almost said the other person. So for those of you, I know we're like, what is this? 20 minutes into the read nearly. This may be two people. What I was seeing originally, it was one. But if it is two, please take that, of course, as it resonates, okay? But anyway, it's like this person or this version of this person takes some sort of like sick delight in knowing that they can really grind people into dust with some of the like horrible things that they say. And it's like, and they want people to know, they like people to know that like they're proud of it. They're not only proud of what they do, but they're proud that they can have that kind of impact. It just feels really hateful. is really what I'm like. It's just like, what? Okay. So, what are Aquarius's actions or intentions? I'm sorry you're dealing with this right now. Feels like it, I mean, it makes sense from what the cards were saying before that, like, you know, there's this circus that's all of a sudden happened. And I feel like, I mean, obviously it's that. Yeah. Can we get actions or intentions from Aquarius to their person? Ah. What does Aquarius need to know? So we have the Seven of Pentacles. More reversed cards. We have the Father, that would be the King of Pentacles, and the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups usually talks about feeling like feeling like you aren't being seen, or like there's something that's on offer that's not being recognized. And it almost feels like this, like a bit of like a deer in the headlights. You know what I mean? It's like, it's that moment where the whole thing's going to crap and you're just looking at it like, how did this go so wrong? You know what I mean? It's almost like, let's say you're at a family barbecue and everyone's like sitting, enjoying each other. You know, they're talking and everything. Some people are standing over there. Some are at the picnic table or bench or whatever. And then it's like, oh, I just gotta, you know, you say to the group, you're like, oh, I just gotta run to the car. I'll be right back. And then like on the way back, it's like you get there and everybody's in this screaming match and you're looking at it thinking like, what? It's not even that like what happened, what's going on. It's just this moment of like shock. And it's almost like it's not fear that I'm feeling from you. It's like you're just an observer for the moment, if that makes sense. So, I mean, that might not be very helpful. I'm just wondering what deck to use to dig into this Tower here. I feel like what I'm hearing from you is like, didn't the Tower already, like, hasn't that already happened? So let's see. Sorry to reach across the camera like that. I'm just going to make sure the deck is upright. What can you tell Aquarius about this Tower? You know what I feel? I feel like there is going to be a tower that falls, but because whatever's going on with this is going on, I feel like this tower seems to go unnoticed. Maybe not entirely. It's not like you don't see it happening, but it's almost like it's, you know, quote unquote, small potatoes in comparison to what's going on here, because this is so convoluted, right? It's like, if it just feels like the type of situation where every time you turn around, there's another complicating element that's being added to the mix, right? And I feel like that may be why it feels like you don't have a second to get your head around it, because it's like, as soon as you kind of are like, okay, I'm gonna think about this, it's like ding, and you hear your phone, and then there's some other, you know, BS ray of nonsense that's shining a light on this stuff. And it's like, and so it just keeps getting, I'm sorry to say, I don't even want to say that. I kind of don't want to put it into the universe, but it feels like the situation just keeps getting worse or strange or weird. It's like weirder and weirder, or stranger and stranger. And you're just kind of looking at it like, is this real life? Is this really happening? Like, that's how odd or peculiar it seems. Can we get Oh. Here's the silver lining. Aquarius, I feel like something here, and now I want to stress, okay, because everyone's situation is different, right? This is a general reading. And what's going on between the two of you, for some of you, may be egregious enough for there to be a break. For some of you, maybe not. It depends on your own situation. So let's start there. I think that you end up seeing this whole thing as like, it was painful, but it was a necessary, it's like, at least it's over. You know what I mean? It's like, if it had to happen, this is a little bit heartbreaking. The silver lining is that it's over. And I feel like there's this energy about you that like you're actually still at the ready. You know what I mean? It's like you're still kind of ready, waiting for, a fifth, sixth shoe to drop with this person. And what's interesting is that all of your cards and the relationship situation are upside down and their heart space, right? It's like, but their actions and where their head is are both upright. So it's almost like this person is, I mean, we've gone over how they're at war with themselves. If it feels like things are really messy and almost like out of control, and it almost feels like the situation where, or the type of situation where things are so messy with this that it's just kind of like, you know what? I think I'm just going to focus on work for a bit right now. I hope you could hear that. What I said was, it's where like something's getting so out of hand, not even out of hand, but so like, you know what? This is just getting to be a bit much, that it's like, you know what? I think I'll just focus on work for right now, because this is such a mess that it's like, it's just going to have to sort itself out. So going back to that like picnic, if it's a metaphor, I think that's what it's called. But the picnic example where you're coming back from your car and there's just a total shids like show over here. It's like whatever you were, let's say you were carrying a case of water over, it's like you're going to go sit on the curb in the parking lot, crack open a fresh bottle of water, and just wait for the noise to die down and enjoy the scenery from the parking lot. Not looking at that argument, but just whatever's in front of you. So, part of me is like, should I pull an advice card? But I actually feel like the biggest thing here is to do exactly what you plan to do, is to give yourself a minute, right? Give yourself a minute to like, just process what's happened here, because there's so many working parts to it. It's almost like when you look at this ball of yarn that's all twisted up, it's like there's a whole bunch of different colors in there, right? And so you're looking at it like, okay, there must be a bunch of different pieces of yarn. And as you start to pull it apart, it's like you realize that actually it's one of those balls of yarn that's like, there's different colors on the same, and it's just one big mess. And I feel like the first couple of times that you go to it, hold on. I was just about to say, the first couple of times that you go to it, you kind of end up being like, you know what, I can't do this right now. But you are keeping an eye on them for some reason. Why? I'm just going to make sure the deck is upright. Why are you keeping an eye on them? The Hermit reversed with the Ace of Swords. It's almost like you're waiting to see if this version of them breaks through. This may not be for all of you, okay? I feel for some of you, if this version of them breaks through, it's almost like you'll keep an eye on them. You'll look out for them somehow. I feel like you know that they'll need it when it happens. It's almost like, hold on for a sec. I feel like part of you, you're not waiting for it, but there's a part of you that's still hoping that this part of them is going to win out. So I think I'll leave it there, Aquarius. If this reading resonated, I'm sorry. I hope that it was helpful. If it did, I love you guys. I wish you all the best. And we will see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.